Hey everyone, this is the Skytech Gaming Crystal Gaming PC and it's a solid mid-range gaming desktop that actually delivers without breaking the bank. But let me explain why it might be the right upgrade for your setup. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the heart of this machine is the AMD Ryzen 7 7700 running at 3.8 GHz with a turbo boost up to 5.3 GHz. That's more than enough power for modern titles like Cyberpunk 2077, Call of Duty Warzone, or even newer releases like Starfield without needing to tweak settings too much. I ran a few benchmarks and it handled 1440p gaming smoothly, hitting around 90 to 110 FPS in most AAA games at high settings. If you're still gaming on a 1080p monitor, you're looking at even higher frame rates, which makes everything feel snappy and responsive. Now, the graphics card is where things get interesting. It comes with an NVIDIA RTX 5060 Ti with 8GB of GDDR7 VRAM. I know NVIDIA's naming can be confusing, but this card is basically a step above the RTX 4060 Ti in raw performance. It handled ray tracing well in games like Alan Wake 2 and supported DLSS 3, which helped maintain smooth frame rates without stuttering. The 8GB of VRAM is a bit tight for 4K gaming, but for 1440p or even high-end 1080p, it's more than adequate. Plus, the card runs cool thanks to the included high-performance air cooler, so you won't hear jet engine fans drowning out your game audio. Storage is another big win here. You get a blazing fast 1TB NVMe SSD, which means your games load almost instantly. I installed a few heavy titles like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Final Fantasy XIV, and they launched in under 10 seconds. That's a huge quality of life improvement over older SATA SSDs or, heaven forbid, a mechanical hard drive. If you're someone who hates waiting for games to install or load, this alone makes the Crystal worth considering. Memory-wise, it's got 32GB of DDR5 RAM running at 5600 MHz. That's overkill for most games right now, but it future-proofs the system for the next few years. I had Chrome running with 20 tabs, Discord, Spotify, and a game in the background, and the system didn't even blink. No slowdowns, no stuttering, just smooth multitasking. If you're into content creation, streaming, or even just heavy browsing while gaming, this amount of RAM is a lifesaver. The power supply is a 650W gold-rated unit, which is efficient and reliable. It's enough to handle the system's power draw without any issues, and it leaves room for future upgrades if you ever want to swap out the GPU or add more storage. The case itself is sleek and functional, with good airflow thanks to the included fans. It's not a showstopper, but it's clean and doesn't look like a toy from the early 2000s. One thing I really appreciate is that this PC comes with Windows 11 pre-installed and no bloatware. That means you're not stuck uninstalling a bunch of unnecessary software right out of the box. It boots up clean and ready to go, which is a nice touch for anyone who's tired of dealing with preloaded junk. Now, let's talk about the downsides. The RTX 5060 Ti is a solid card, but it's not a high-end performer. If you're aiming for 4K gaming or ultra settings in the most demanding titles, you might need to dial things back or upgrade later. Also, the brand of the GPU can vary, which might be a concern if you're particular about consistency. I've had good experiences with it so far, but it's something to keep in mind. Another thing to note is the Wi-Fi is only 802.11 AC, which is fine for most home setups, but if you're in an area with a lot of interference or you're using a high-speed internet plan, you might want to consider a wired connection or an upgrade to a Wi-Fi 6 card down the line. Overall, the Skytech Gaming Crystal Gaming PC is a great mid-range option that balances performance, storage, and future-proofing without asking you to sell a kidney. It's perfect for gamers who want smooth 1440p gameplay, plenty of storage, and a system that can handle multitasking without breaking a sweat. If this sounds like the upgrade you've been looking for, check out the link below to see the latest price and availability. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.